Hello, inmates, and welcome back to the cellblock Scorch. This is Styx. First of all, I would like to apologize for lying to you. In the last episode that I recorded, I told you that I would be commenting on the Scorch that I gave the prompt for, and that's code for do not eat. And Octo won that week, and if you haven't listened to it, it actually already aired, right? If you haven't listened to it, you absolutely should because it's phenomenal. Octo did such a good job with the voices and the inflection, and she made a hilarious story even funnier, which I didn't even think was possible. So shout out to Octo. The reason that I actually didn't record anything to include in that episode was because I got super sick and lost my voice. So it wasn't actually my fault that I didn't record anything for you guys. But I did say that I was going to, and then I didn't, which is shameful behavior. And in the future, I'm going to keep my promises. In the future, I might not make any promises, right? Because that's the easiest way to keep your promises. But now you know. All right, so with that taken care of, we will move into this week's Scorch. The prompt was given by Matches, which I think is kind of funny because the last Scorch that I recorded for you guys was also from a prompt that Matches gave. It's just kind of funny how that works out sometimes. We fall into cycles and then fall out of cycles, and it's very funny. So the prompt this week is, I am the servant of every single fool. I want to cloud your mind. That's another kind of serious and poetic prompt. This time I actually did sort of stick with the theme, though, unlike last time. It's pretty short and sweet, so we are just going to jump straight in, and then maybe I'll talk more after, and then maybe I won't. We'll see. The title of the piece is Clouds in the Primordial Deep. The gods sprung into being 1,000 years old. They took their places in the skies and rivers and joined other, older gods in volcanoes and oceans. The darkness between stars took a great breath, coiling into a shapeless, primordial something. No one has ever witnessed the birth of a god. It is a slow thing and subjective. A thought never dies in the universe, and if enough thoughts agree, they start to stick together. They take shape and take notice. But when exactly does a consciousness become a being? When does a grain of sand become a beach? Only one thing remains certain. People can only pray for so long before something starts answering. It was a dark time on Earth. A time shaped by memories of bloodshed and thoughts of despair. The darker the days, the darker the gods became, the more vengeful. And so the people began to dream of the god killer. The god killer had no spear and no sword. No one could agree whether he had killed the god of thunder, or rain, or the moon. But wherever he went, he scattered chaos. Wherever he went, the gods fell like rain. 1,000 conversations, all the same. Who are you? Asked the god of war. I am the god killer. God killer, scoffed the god of wheat. No one can kill a god. That's true, said the god killer. You were born from the dream of immortality. I was born before you were a glint in your father's eye, said the god of the earth, from the union of light and chaos. I was made from the soft sprigs of pine needles by the hands of the great huntress, said the god of owls. I was a pearl in the belly of the ocean god's mistress, said the god of shellfish. The god killer only smiled. Why are you here? Said the god of weaving. I am here because I must be, said the god killer. Because the stories say I am. What do you mean, stories? Said the god of merchants. I am a story. That's all. You are as real as I am, said the god of serpents. Exactly. I don't understand, said the east wind. I don't expect you to. You are telling the truth, realized the god of falsehoods. Why would I lie? What are you? Said the god of disease. The same as you, said the god killer. An idea, an image, an impression against a vast sky, a hope, a wish, a fear, he said. The servant of fools. I am no one's servant, the god king bristled. The god killer smiled. I think you misunderstand what it means to be a god. What does it mean to be a god? Asked the god of sleep. It means that once we part ways, said the god killer, no one will pray to you again. Other gods would be born. Other beings would roll in the deep. But humanity wanted hope, and so they had to stop believing in despots. The god killer would disappear too, when the last of the gods had died. He would pass from a man to the silhouette of a man, to the shadow of a man, to a shadow, to a whisper, to a memory. His mind would scatter into a cloud, and the cloud would scatter across the void. There you have it, folks. Oh, I like folks. I should use folks instead of you guys. I think I say you guys a lot, which is gender neutral when I use it, but folks is better, just objectively. So, folks, there you have it. Yeah, like I said, it's pretty short. This one's a standalone. I honestly don't have that much to say about it. It is kind of funny when I go back and read all of my writing, especially my Scorch writing, because it's kind of representative, I guess, of what I do in my bigger projects. And I tend to have two modes, right? One mode where I'm trying to make every line a joke, and one mode where I'm trying to make every line the kind of thing that a hipster would get tattooed on their collarbone. And this was the second mode, obviously. It's not very funny. I hope you weren't expecting it to be funny. It's not. But it is kind of fun, and it was fun to write. It was really fun to try and get that movie montage kind of feel when we're splicing between different conversations. I'm kind of hoping that you can tell who's talking and when it's the god killer, even if I didn't include dialogue tags. But once again, much like the last time I did this, I'm encouraging you to check out the transcripts, which are up for free on our Patreon. The prompt that I gave for the next week is a story about yokai. And yokai, if you have never heard of that before, are creatures from Japanese mythology. I lived in Japan for a while, and I speak a little bit of Japanese, and I think that Japanese mythology is super, super cool. And as it happens, our group of friends watches a lot of anime, so yokai feature frequently in that genre. It's Japanese media, right? So obviously Japanese mythology shows up. But when I gave the prompt, I tried to look at who was in my group. And I looked at all of the names for people who were in my group, and I was like, oh yeah, for sure. Everyone in this group knows what yokai are. That's a thing. And I was mistaken. So I'm doing the spiel now, telling you what's what, and you'll probably get it again. when that episode airs. Hopefully I will be there to comment on that one, but again, I've decided I'm done with promises. So, you'll hear me if you hear me, and otherwise, you won't. It's been super fun recording this for you guys, and I hope you keep that fire burning.
The Cellblock Scorch is a production of Stellacore, an independent group of nerds sharing their obsessions with the world. We can be reached at thestellacore@gmail.com through comments on your podcast platform of choice, our Instagram, Stella_core, and at our YouTube, also called Stellacore. Feel free to check out our other productions on our YouTube channel, our cosplays on Instagram, or if you would like to support our creative endeavors, check out our Patreon or donate to the Ko-Fi of the writer of your favorite Scorches.